Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great segment for everyone. Thank you so very much. Let's check the live feed. Yes, it's working. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's a countdown to November 6th, 2018. And ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be so wonderful. We are going to have just a wonderful, jubilant, euphoric victory. We will be victorious. And it'll be so just amazing. It'll be amazing. And it'll be 2 years of being forced to listen to insanity by the left, culminating in a victory. The GOP will keep the House and the Senate and gain in the Senate. I mean, John James could be the next senator in Michigan. He could beat Stabenow. He could defeat how many years? How many years has she been a senator? We are living in a monumental time. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone. To my super chat, thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Before we talk about Trump meeting with Putin, whenever you have a political party that doesn't want a president to meet with a foreign power, you're talking about either a neoconservative or an extremely militant, hardline political party. Democrats usually aren't viewed as militants. But one reason I love Trump, one reason I'm a Trump supporter, is that he's willing to talk to anyone. So peace between North and South Korea is a very important thing. It's an amazing thing. It's a breakthrough in world history, not just American, U.S. politics. Dean Diefendorf, living La Vida Loca. Love you, bro. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dean Diefendorf. Thank you. We have a situation with the Democratic Party where it's imploding. It stands for nothing. It only stands to oppose Trump. Trump recently pulled out of the INF Treaty. I want to read this National Review article before we get to the meeting with Putin. Now, the notion that Putin hacked the DNC to inform the world that Bernie Sanders was cheated is a stupid notion. You have to be a stupid person to believe that a foreign power would hack a political party's servers simply to expose the crimes committed by that political party because they're afraid of the political party and gaining power. That's a stupid thing. It makes no sense, and it's completely irrational because President Obama did not veto, I repeat, did not veto the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity to Putin. Everything they're guilty of, they accuse others of. That's how Democrats work. If they're guilty of something, they'll accuse Trump of whatever it is they're guilty of. So I want to read this National Review article. Trump blows the whistle on Russian cheating. This is interesting because people are like, well, why is he pulling out of that treaty? Oh my God. Are we heading for another arms race? Well, this is an interesting National Review article from Rich Lowry that'll give some context into why he wants to meet Putin, what they're going to talk about. The INF Treaty prohibits the U.S. from having certain missiles, but is flagrantly disregarded by Russia. Is the INF Treaty so important that the Russians should be allowed to cheat on it without consequence? That's the implication of the criticisms of President Donald Trump for saying that he's pulling out of the Cold War-era arms control agreement. Mikhail Gorbachev deemed Trump's stated intention unacceptable and very irresponsible, although it isn't the U.S. that has flagrantly violated the treaty for years. The Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty signed in 1987, was a central achievement of the Reagan-Gorbachev diplomacy of the late 1980s. The Soviets had deployed intermediate-range SS-20 missiles that could hit NATO countries from bases in the Soviet Union. The U.S. countered by deploying its own intermediate-range missiles in Europe. At the same time, President Ronald Reagan proposed a zero option to eliminate such missiles from the arsenals of both countries. As he sought to save the doomed Soviet system, Gorbachev agreed. The Russians have recently made obvious their contempt for Gorbachev's handiwork. Okay. The State Department has determined since 2014 that Russia is in violation of the treaty via the 9M729 ground-launched cruise missiles. Tests of the non-compliant missile go back to 2008, and the Obama administration first told Congress of its concern in 2011. By the way, not that it stopped the uranium deal. So they're breaking the INF treaty. They're also targeting journalists before the 2010 uranium deal, but President Obama didn't care. This is the political party that Putin was so deathly afraid of. This is what we're working with in terms of mindset within the Democratic Party. So Trump leaving the INF deal, and then they say, well, you know, Rhonda, Iowa girl, nap time. Politics are exhausting me. Night all. Thank you, Rhonda, Iowa girl. Enjoy the little nap and have a great day. And it's always good to kind of relax. And the politics is exhausting. You deserve it. You're awesome. Thank you so much, Rhonda, Iowa girl. Thank you. And November 6th, be here. It's going to be fantastic. Luke St. Martin, hello. Rhonda, thank you again. So, the U.S. feels constrained because China in particular is outdoing itself. The head of U.S. Pacific Command, Admiral Harry Harris, told Congress last year that Chinese military, quote, controls the largest and most diverse missile force in the world with an inventory of more than 2,000 ballistic and cruise missiles. This fact is significant because the U.S. has no comparable capability due to our adherence to the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty with Russia. According to Harris, 95% of Chinese missiles would violate the INF treaty if China was a signatory. So there are two concerns here. One, thank you again, Rhonda. Thank you. One is, well, it's not fair that Russia is cheating. They're building missiles that are not allowed in the INF treaty. And two, China isn't even a part of the treaty, and they have nothing stopping them from building a whole bunch of missiles that could hurt us in that part of the world. That's probably one of the things Trump wants to speak to Vladimir Putin about, in addition to Saudi Arabia, in addition to a whole bunch of other issues. Middle East, a whole bunch of things. Why wouldn't you want your president to speak to a former Cold War adversary? Well, if you're the Democratic Party, you've convinced yourself that they hacked the election. Oh my God, they hacked the election. And because they hacked the election, we can't ever treat Russia in the manner that Obama treated Russia. That would be wrong. They cheated poor Hillary. Wingless Angel, we love you. So let's just read CNBC. Trump says he probably will meet Russian leader Putin in Paris. Everyone should be happy with this. Democrats think it's like yet another treasonous act because the DNC equals the United States of America, and Hillary Clinton is as American as apple pie, and they informed us of how corrupt Debbie Wasserman Schultz was, and therefore we should hate Putin for this. I can never forgive Bernie, not just for kissing Hillary's ring after she slapped him in the face with it. It's just like the Dave Show. Unity. Rhonda, Iowa girl, my whole family voted red yesterday. Thanks, Kara. They are blue voters. Good night. Yes. Yes, Rhonda, Iowa girl, Iowa. I think Bloom's going to win against Finkenauer. I think that, and then you have Young versus Axney. I mean, these are supposed to be toss-ups. Actually, sorry, the Bloom, I think is Iowa 1, is supposed to be lean Democrat. There is a possibility, Rhonda and everyone here. There is a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I am saying the GOP will keep control of the House. I am not saying that the GOP will gain seats in the House. There's a small possibility that Republicans can actually gain a seat or two. If you have turnout as high as it is expected to be, that turnout is not from disgruntled Democrats. If early voting is any indication, you're looking at a red wave. Now, I'm not predicting a red wave, and I'm not predicting that Republicans gain seats in the House. I'm saying there could very well be a red wave. There could very well be seats gained in the House. I'm saying categorically, of course, Republicans will keep the House. Republicans will keep the House and gain in the Senate. Thank you so much, Rhonda. Thank you so much. Rhonda, it's going to be a special evening, not just the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. We're going to have a party, an after party. That whole week is just going to be amazing. But here, politics. Trump says he probably will meet Russian leader Putin in Paris in November. President Donald Trump said he will probably meet with Russian leader Vladimir Putin on November 11th in Paris. Both Trump and Putin already are planning to be in the French capital that day to make the 100th anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. The two leaders most recently met in Helsinki in July, where Trump seemed to back Putin's claim that Russia had not tried to affect the outcome of the 2016 presidential election by means that included stealing Democratic committee emails. Don't you love how every time DNC emails are mentioned, nobody brings up the fact that Bernie Sanders was cheated? Isn't that just so poetic? No, so not poetic. Poetic justice. There will be poetic justice on November 6, 2018. Isn't that so bizarre? Isn't that so odd? Isn't it so odd that every single time we hear about the Democratic National Committee emails, the journalist or the publication never mentions that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in disgrace. I don't understand how that's possible. I really don't understand how that's possible. How you can always have... It's almost as if they have... It's like the revisionist history. It's revisionist history. The Democratic Party cheated Bernie Sanders. And then they forced Bernie Sanders to then work for the same people that cheated him. He had no problem with that. JUB891, good morning from the Southern Hemisphere, HA, and to all, thank you. Good morning. JUB891, thank you. So they don't want Trump to meet Putin, but they call Trump a madman and a tyrant. So which one is it? They can't get their story straight. And the way they behaved, like the way media described the Helsinki summit with Putin, was not only absurd, it was like entering this alternate universe. The best is Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough. They're awesome because they're so sanctimonious and they're so like, they're such horrible actors that you look and you're like, you cannot be serious. I mean, everyone's like, this is the worst thing to ever happen. Like, nobody cares. First of all, Russia didn't hack the DNC. There would be evidence, and Hillary Clinton outsourced CrowdStrike. They didn't give their servers to the FBI or to the NSA or to anyone. They hid their computer servers because they didn't want their servers. They didn't want it to be known that nobody hacked them. It wasn't a hack. There was no evidence of a hack. There's no evidence of a hack. If there was evidence, they would have turned over their servers to the FBI. You're not going to, I mean, why would you trust CrowdStrike when it's outsourced by Hillary Clinton? Why would you investigate the rantings and ravings of a Steele dossier if it was purchased by Hillary Clinton? But that's what happened. Clinton, through her law firm, purchased these things. Blatant campaign finance violations, but let's not get into that. Barbara Schumann, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara Schumann. Thank you. Thank you. Patriot 95. If there was such a big blue wave on the way, why are the MSM and Democrats freaking out and angry 24/7? Doesn't seem like a confident party. No, it's not. They know what's going on. They know they're gonna lose. They're slowly realizing that. Barbara Schumann, Patriot 95, everyone here. You have to be here November 6, 2018. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your boyfriend, tell your girlfriend, tell your husband, tell your wife. If you have a wife and a girlfriend and a boyfriend, or a boyfriend and a husband, tell them separately. Have them watch on different computers, different locations. Everyone needs to watch. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, Barbara. It's just going to be absolutely wonderful. The meltdown will be epic. I'm looking forward to a fantastic meltdown, and we can just laugh and enjoy ourselves. It'd be fantastic. President Trump said Tuesday he probably will meet with Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Paris on November 11th. Both Trump and Putin already are planning to be in the French capital that day to mark the 100th anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I. I think we probably will meet. Trump told reporters in the Oval Office at the White House it hasn't been set up yet. Probably will. Probably will be. Trump's comment came hours after his national security advisor John Bolton said in Moscow that Putin told him during a meeting Tuesday that he would like to continue having direct discussions with Trump and suggested Paris for a sit-down. Well, why not? If they're both there, why not? That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Still waiting for Russian hackers to be indicted. Those 12 Russian nationals weren't hackers. They were said to have conspired with. Where are these hackers? Where are the emails, by the way? The NSA is said to have every single piece of digital information ever created. Where are the emails from? Where's the evidence from Russian hackers to Trump, to Trump's campaign officials? Where's the coordination? They have nothing but questions. Oh my God, well, this, look at that, look at this. Yet they don't make the same connections, and they don't connect the dots with actual transfers of money into the Clinton Foundation and actual pay-to-play beneficial outcomes for those who transfer the money, for those who gave money to the Clinton Foundation. Thank you, Daisy. Daisy, everyone here, it'll be fantastic. We're going to have, Democrats are not going to they're not going to understand what took place. They won't know, because a great part of all of this also, you have to also understand, everybody, it's not like they're you and they're me. It's not like they look at things and they're like, oh, it's not like they say, oh my God, maybe the Republicans have a chance to win. Oh my God, maybe they will keep the House. No, 538, the gods of polling, the pundits extraordinaire, they give Democrats an 80% chance, to keep the House. 80%. Okay, you have everyone from 538 to Cenk Uygur to The Economist to NBC and Washington Post polls to Sabato and Cook. You have almost everybody, almost every expert, almost every intelligent person, almost every elite observer. Delaville, thank you. Delaville, thank you. Almost everyone who knows anything is saying that Democrats are going to keep the House. And not only keep the House, oh goodness, they're going to add 30 seats. Oh my goodness. And they might even take the Senate, many of them say. Although now they're saying the Senate might be out of possibility. The Republicans are going to keep the House, and every single Democratic pundit is going to have to explain why I was right and why you were right. I have been saying since May of 2018, actually before then, but I was on RT's Crosstalk. Stating that Republicans are going to keep the House. Republicans are going to keep the House and gain in the Senate and keep the Senate. And now they're going to gain big in the Senate. I wrote a Daily Caller article explaining all the reasons why. When 538, by the way, has stated numerous times, well, Trump is an unpopular president. That's rubbish. That's not true at all. Trump is a very popular president. A lot of people won't admit it. Not only is he extremely popular, I'm talking historic levels within the Republican Party. You're talking 90% approval rating. Okay, you're talking half of the Republican Party is women, female Republican voters. They love Trump. They believed Kavanaugh. Okay. Trump is extremely popular. We will see. You don't just sell out. You don't sell out a venue. You don't have 100,000 people trying to see Trump speak if he wasn't a popular person. And you say, well, that's just among Republicans. Well, there are a lot of independents, and there are even progressives who won't say it, but they respect Trump. There are people, I would say hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people throughout the country, probably millions of people, who secretly either admire or respect Trump. They might not like him, but they like his policies. They like what he stands for. I mean, they might not like him as an individual, but they like a good economy. That person is not, you can't find out who that person is from a phone call. Thank you, Night Stalker 303. Thank you. You can't find out who that person is from a phone call. Okay. I was reading a 538 article today, and they were saying, well, how is it that Trump's approval rating could increase, yet the House Republicans in the House, their chances are decreasing? Then they go to their different mathematical models, and then thank you, Sarah 1917. Thank you. And then they say, well, historically, midterm elections are go a certain way. There is no precedent for Trump. There's no precedent for a Democratic Party in complete freefall because it's hijacked by Hillary Clinton, and they're too brainwashed and stupid to realize it. It's a good economy for the 3 million people who have jobs now. There are 3 million people with jobs that didn't have jobs last year of Obama's presidency. So 3 million people. Let's see. Trump, 3 million jobs. 3 million people have found jobs since Trump took office. Okay. There you go. Pretty good. Total hiring tops 3 million. That's not bad. That's not bad. 3 million. Total hiring tops 3 million. Market Watch. And what they do is a fact check. Oh my God, he said it's a great economy, the greatest economy ever. That's not true. That's not true. During the Gilded Age, well, actually, Gilded Age wasn't that good of that was a horrible economy for most people. But no, during this time in American politics, this happened and that happened and this happened and that happened. It's like they're petulant. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton does yoga and deletes subpoenaed emails. They're like, whatever. 3 million jobs. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, 320,000 manufacturing jobs. 300,000 manufacturing jobs. So you have consumer confidence up. What was it like? We are now a dynamic economy, a competitive economy again. Luke St. Martin, Elizabeth Luker, we love you. Eric H526. To all my moderators, thank you. I have my own police state on this channel. I'm a benevolent ruler. Thank you so much. It's very difficult to win an election against a president or a political party that's presiding over a great economy. We might hit 3% or 5% GDP growth. We might hit 5% GDP growth late third quarter. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see here. You have Black and Latino unemployment all-time low. And of course, media is like, well, it started under Obama. But so what? It hit an all-time low under Trump. How is that a bad thing? You can't give the guy credit for anything. He's a monster. Well, then his policies should have not correlated to all-time lows in unemployment, correct? The hyperbole and the doomsday rhetoric doesn't match the reality of what's taking place. The reality of what's taking place is that he's a good president. Is he perfect? Is he a Democrat? No, he's not. He's not a Democrat. He's not perfect. Or he's not perfect in terms of the liberal view of things. Let's look at jobs created under Trump. So manufacturing is greatly improved. Manufacturing jobs and mining jobs grew 28% under Trump, compared to a loss of 23% in the last 16 months of Obama. Okay. And you had a loss of 300,000 manufacturing jobs in 8 years of Obama. And you have a gain of 320,000 under Trump. So, I mean, Look at the you have machinery jobs increasing, the metal industry increasing, mining increasing, oil. Okay, so mining. Okay, so you have fabricated metals and rail transportation. It's down actually. Electrical equipment manufacturing, computer electronics manufacturing, all increasing. You want to know the jobs under Obama? Warehouse and storage. Okay. Motion picture and sound increased. So Hollywood, which is why you see De Niro and everybody else out of their minds. Other information services, whatever that means. General goods stores, travel and arrangement, health and personal care stores. So you have jobs that pay a much higher wage under Trump. That's not even up for debate. A manufacturing job is very likely going to, well, I mean, motion picture and sound, you're talking about unions. You're not talking about like, $20 million $20 million contracts here. You're talking about like hardworking people that part of a union. John O. HA Republicans are outpacing Dems in early voting. You are looking right. Yes. HA, I find it much easier to run my business under Trump. John O, that's what I've heard. I've heard people say that. I go into, John O, thank you so very much. I go into like a restaurant. I'll speak to the manager. Say, if I know the manager, say, hey, how's it going? How's business? I'll ask, how's business? One of my friends who's a manager at a restaurant says, look, I don't like Trump, but business is good. So he's honest. So, I mean, it's John O. I've heard of that before. I've heard people say, hey, look, like this is a lot better. The economy is better. The economy is better. And you think also, like I used to always talk about like Bernie Sanders. I always thought like, okay, the 1%. If you lift up the rest of the country, I'm a lot less worried about the 1%. I'm really a lot less worried about the 1% if 99% have moved up. If 99% are stagnant, and then you just, complain about the 1%, fine. 1% this, 1% that. At the end of the day, Democrats will worship at the feet of the 1% while pretending, while trotting out Bernie and saying, hey, look at me, I'll really fight the 1%. And then, he's back to saying, like Beto O'Rourke, oh, the Russians attacked our democracy. It's all like this magic show. And then you have PBS, AP fact check. Trump claims on record GDP, jobs, and the Russian investigation. Oh my God, we have to fact check this. Trump, one new and great fact. So it's like they can't, like, here's like one new and great fact. African American unemployment is lowest ever recorded in history in our country. So honored by this, okay? And then the facts are not exactly. He omits important caveats. Black unemployment did reach a low, 5.9%. Okay, that is a record low. So he was right. But then it says the rate has risen to 6.6% in July. Okay, that's bad. That's not as good. And then despite some recent progress, the black unemployment rate is now nearly double that of whites. It's been double that of whites throughout. Actually, it was, I think, triple that of whites in Obama's first couple of years, which is 3.4%. No, it's over double. The most dramatic drop in black unemployment came under President Barack Obama when it fell from a recession high of 16%. How is that such an amazing thing? 16% under Obama to 7.8%. Yes, okay, 5.9% is even better. There's more African American, more black citizens working. This is a great thing. But they twist it. How do they like? How is this a fact check where you're burning Trump? You want more people, black, white, Latino, Asian. You want more people working, women. More people are working. Objectively, more people are working. You want that. So, and President Obama's taking credit for of course, taking credit for everything. 2 years in, 2 years in, 2 years in, he's taking credit for the economy. 2 years. So you can't blame Obama because of Bush, because Bush tanked the economy. Then you can't credit Trump because why exactly? Let's look at this. It's like nobody believes this. Obama, remember when you hear economy improving, remember who started it? Yes, because your policies are just like Trump's policies. If you want to get technical, Bush started it with the bank bailouts. So, like, former President, this is Washington Times, former President Barack Obama took credit Monday for what he called economic miracles happening under President Trump. By the time I left office, wages were rising. Okay, it took you 8 years. Poverty was falling. That's what I headed off to the next guy. No, you handed Trump a 1.6% anemic economy, which is one reason Madam Cyberhack lost. The economy was not growing at a fast pace. The economy was not growing at a fast pace. So when you hear all this talk about American economic miracles, remember who started it? Yeah, right. It's not just look objectively. The GDP was 1.6% GDP. (2016) GDP. So in 2016, sorry, you had a 1.5% GDP. My bad. You had a 1.5% GDP. 1.5% under Obama. Okay. Then it went, Trump became president, 2.3%. And now you can have possibly 4% growth for the whole year, or close to 4% growth for the whole year. 1.5% GDP growth. And it's like, how on earth? All told, under Obama, averaged less than 1.5%. Wow. Let me read this. So 1.5. All told, growth under Obama averaged less than 1.5% annually. Well, let me see it. Is that true? This is actually U.S. News and World Report. So let me see if I'm reading this correctly. So PolitiFact, let's see here. Mostly true. Roxham says Obama had been the first never to top 3% in annual GDP growth. Wow. Wow. Mostly true. Peter Roskam, Obama administration was the first administration that never had a whole year of 3% growth. Well, Roskam's claim is accurate based on annual GDP growth figures between 2009 and 2016. There are other ways to look at the data. Doing so reveals economic growth has surpassed 3% during 2 periods. Okay, well, that's not. So GDP grew at least 1%, 1.6% every year except in 2009. So maybe he averaged 1.5%. I have to make sure, but I just want to make sure about this. This is crazy. The economic miracle started when Jesus was crucified by them. John O. John O. Basically, anything good started before or after Trump. They'll actually go into the future and they'll say, no, 2 presidents from now, that's when something good happened, and time travelers came back, and then suddenly it was good. So wait, average GDP growth under Obama. GDP growth is an imperfect measure of economic impact. Of course it is. If it shows that Obama didn't do well. It says annualized real GDP growth from first quarter in office to last. So annualized real GDP growth is 2.1% and 2.9% with Trump. And you'll probably get 3+ for 8 years because the guy ain't stopping. The trade deals he renegotiated are going to be much better for the country. He renegotiated NAFTA. The tariffs are working in terms of the steel industry. So if you look here, Obama has had the second worst. No, Bush 41 and Bush 43. Gosh, the Bushes, but stay out of the Bushes. They were horrible. So real annualized GDP, 2.1% growth. Trump has 2.9% growth. And that's just his second year. That's just his second year. I mean, look, if we're going to go and look at the stock market every day, stock market since Trump, nice. Since Trump, let's just look at the Dow chart. Let's look at 5 years, steady incline. Well, some ups and downs, that's normal. So the Dow was at what? Let's see, January 20th, the Dow was at 19,827. It's now at 25,191. So Dow has increased. Dow Jones Industrial increased a tremendous amount. S&P. Let's look at the S&P. So let's look at the 5 year. The S&P even more so. S&P, you're looking at, so January 20th, 2017. Dow to 2271. It's now 2740. NASDAQ. The NASDAQ. January 20th. So 5,574. It's now at 7,437. What's up? There you go. There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So it's like this economic crash that people predicted never happened. Sorry, sorry, Paul Krugman. Never happened. The economic crash that you just, really wanted never happened. It just never happened. So, they're not gonna they're not gonna know what hit them in terms of why Republicans kept control of the House. See, there's 435 districts. Okay, this is what they're going to blame: gerrymandering. They're going to blame the Loch Ness Monster. They're going to blame you. They're going to blame me. They're going to blame Kanye West. They're going to blame the euphemisms that suddenly came out of the woodwork. Every economic indicator, almost every macroeconomic indicator is up since President Obama. I mean, since President Trump. So, jobless claims are at all-time low. Jobless claims record. Jobless claims sink to 48-year low. How is that bad? Like, how is that bad? How is this like orange, Pol Pot? How is this like Pumpkinhead Mussolini? Jobless claims bad. Jobless claims bad. Pumpkinhead Mussolini. Pumpkinhead Mussolini. Initial jobless claims, a proxy for layoffs in the U.S., sank to mid-July, the lowest level since 1969. Oh my goodness. Please impeach. Impeach. Layoffs have fallen to the lowest level in 49 years. Yes, this is all from Obama's 1.5% anemic growth. We owe it all to President Obama. We owe all of it to President Obama. Actually, we should thank Hillary Clinton. It was by her good graces that we have such a good life now. Everybody needs to pray to Hillary every morning. If you don't, then you're a sexist and chauvinist. Jobless claims fall to 203,000. They haven't been this low since December 6, 1969. And we have a lot more people in this country. So that should tell you the strength of the economy. That should tell you the strength of the economy. And like they still like it's the same kind of Trump derangement that they have. Can I tell you the Trump derangement they have? Like I literally, I'm telling people like I know like, hey, you know what? This is really amazing. Peace between North and South Korea. Oh, I'm not so sure I want peace with a dictator. Bro, what? What does that even mean? Well, I don't know. They don't like. This is the thing. They could actually possibly win. They could possibly win. Like, I'm not anymore, but they could have possibly won if they acted like adults. Democrats acted like petulant teenagers. They didn't care about anything but just hating. I remember when I was still on the left, I was like, look, you know what? Don't hate on Trump. It's not going to work out. No, we're going to hate him and everything. We have to hate him more. It's like, didn't work out in 2016. Don't you remember? It didn't work out. And I think they're going to go. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, the shock, it's actually going to be worse than, because they spent 2 years. They spent 2 years worshiping at the altar of Trump Russia. Now, and I understand, like, this is the thing. My vantage point, ladies and gentlemen, has never been Republicans are right 100%. My vantage point is that I'm going to roll with the side that is will be looked at by history as far more just than a Democratic Party and a left that is in free fall, both morally, in terms of ideology. I don't say this from a theological standpoint. The left is godless. And I don't mean this from a theological standpoint. Like, you don't have to believe in God. You could be an atheist and just as moral as a person, a believer. I'm talking about they're not rooted in anything. HA, look at me. Who's your dog? AKA, look at me. Be here November 6th, 2018. We're going to party. AKA, we're going to party. Trump loves immigrants. He married 3 of them. Oh, man. But, I mean, that's the thing. Like, what Trump is doing is he is destroying the media, which is lovely. All of these talking heads who will tell you how to live your life, and these are people on the left. This is their religion is condemnation. The left's religion is condemnation. It's not God. It's not even atheism. It's not any. There is no moral compass on the left. It's a whole set of ridiculous, stupid, pseudo-intellectual. I mean, some of it is interesting. Some of it, is rooted in reality. A lot of it is just based on pure condemnation and arrogance, and a palpable fear associated with any debate or dialogue. The left wields power like a 16-year-old that just found a diamond ring. They're like, oh my God, I found this diamond ring. No one's going to touch it, and no one's going to look at it ever, and it's all mine. I blame society, yes. John Bolton, I don't like John Bolton. Thankfully, he doesn't say anything too crazy for Trump. I think Trump, I call John Bolton the homeless. He looks like not a seal, a walrus. I call him the homeless walrus. I mean, Bolton is a neocon, but thank goodness he's not. Like, he's now whatever Trump wants. Bolton is the type of guy that if you say jump, he'll be like, yes, boss. How high? John Bolton he will do whatever Trump says. Whatever Trump says. So he's a yes man. So is Pompeo a yes man. Luckily, Trump actually has a good deal of wisdom. The left doesn't see that Trump actually has wisdom. They're the ones who don't have wisdom. Hillary Clinton has zero wisdom. We're talking zero wisdom. So, let's see. Let's see here. Billions of dollars are and will be coming into the United States because of tariffs. And I agree with that. I agree with tariffs as a short-term negotiation tactic. They're like, you don't want tariffs forever. No, you don't want tariffs forever. Tariffs that are permanent aren't good for anyone. As a negotiating tactic, they're good. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Oh, my goodness. So, Andrew Gillen, by the way, is linked to the FBI gave him tickets to Hamilton. Wow. So it's like Ronna McDaniel, by the way, you're going to hear a lot of her. She's amazing. She's the head of the RNC. And she is like the opposite of W. Wasserman Schultz. Like she is running a like pristine, like the organization is very, very, very good. Very good organization. Very good in terms of, let's see. Oh, Keith Ellison, he's still running, even though he's been accused of things. Oh, look, the 2008 House forecast. Thank you, Sean, for this. 85%. Wowzers. Wowza, wowza, wowza. Forecasting the race for the House. 85%. Wowzers. That's going to be a shocker. That's going to be a real shock. Ladies and gentlemen, trust little old H.A. My polls plus minus plus H.A. Goodman deluxe poll will tell you. And all you have to trust is surging John Cox up the polls. Big surging John Cox. Huh? Big John Cox. He can actually win. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? It's like Hollywood, like everyone in LA is gonna lose their Bandini. They'll be like, what? Pol Pot won? No. We can't poop on the streets anymore. No. If they win 15 seats, okay, this is the way it's going to work, everyone. If Democrats win 15 or over, they'll still try to save face the next day. They'll be like, well, we almost got it. We almost got it. Ah. But if they win less than 15, you're looking at really a lot of anger. You're looking at a lot of anger. Like a lot of anger. 538 will be wrong again because there is no precedent. The way 538 works, they're like, look at the precedent. Look at the historic numbers. There's no precedent here. Actually, Trump is more popular than any Republican ever. I think that, right after, 2001, fine. Bush was a little bit more popular, obviously, than Trump, but then that subsided. Trump has remained historically the most popular president within his political party during a presidency. There is no precedent for that. He's more popular than Obama and even Clinton. I mean, even JFK was. The Axios graph had a JFK, John Kennedy, 85% among Democrats approval rating. Trump today has close to a 90. I think it has to be over a 90. The guy had 100,000 people in Texas. They were camping out like it's a rock concert, camping out like it's this parade a day before. They were camping out. I read the 538 article, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, he's a really unpopular president. No, he's not. Susan Pepper, yes. That would be awesome, actually. I would rather have one Democrat win than actually one Republican win. Because it would be like the it would be like, that person would actually experience hate from the Democratic Party. Like, what, you won? How dare you? I just love this so much. Like, they are going to be in for such a rude awakening. Okay. Yeah, right. Florida governor candidate could boost other Democrats on the ballot. No. That's not true, because Hillary Clinton is fundraising for Andrew Gillum. If you have Hillary Clinton fundraising for you, that means you're really not getting support from people on the left. You should. Michelle Lamson, Michelle, glad I'll be here November 6th instead of watching them lose their mind on cable. Well, you can just have the TV and then have your computer so you can watch me and you could be part of the party, but also enjoy the euphoria of the Schadenfreude. I'm not really into the Schadenfreude type thing, but you know what? They deserve it for all the craziness they put us through for 2 years. They're going to lose it, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have great tweets. I like Kathy Griffin as a comedian. She's kind of funny. I think that comedy's pretty much dead. I would say Kathy Griffin is good. Not Richard Pryor, but she's very good. And she will have a hilarious meltdown, I think. It'll be very funny. The meltdowns from Hollywood will not be funny. That will not be funny. It'll be very depressing, but hilarious. It'll be amusing in its misery. I am stating categorically my prediction yet again. Probably the 10,000th time I've said it the past 5 months, that Republicans will keep the House. I can't tell you whether it's 22 seats or 1 seat. Thank you, H2Fu. Thank you. Republicans will keep the House and gain in the Senate. If you go to my at H.A. Goodman Author on Twitter, my pinned tweet is me on RT's Crosstalk stating that very same thing. Michelle Lamson, thank you so very much. Be here November 6th. It'll be amazing. We're all going to party. I'm glad you're going to be here. I blame society. I will be right. We will all enjoy it. Look, just look at it from a macro perspective. Look at it from a bird's eye view. You have a great economy. You have peace between North and South Korea. You have 435 districts in the United States, 435, where Democrats have to wrestle control of 23 Republican-held districts. Republican-held districts. So Republicans have to say, nah, I don't like Trump. I like Nancy Pelosi. Does that make any sense? Like 538 and all of them, Cenk Uygur, The Economist, like they don't realize how reviled and hated the Democratic Party is. They think that just like Trump is hated by the average person. It's not true. The average person doesn't like Trump's personality. Only like the Democratic Party, like hardcore loyalists, hate Trump. The average person does not like Hillary. Like the average person, even Democrats don't like Hillary Clinton. See, this is the difference between Trump and Hillary Clinton. Trump is a beloved figure within the Republican Party. Hillary Clinton is feared. Like they fear that she'll run again. They fear she'll run again. Okay. So, you know, I'm telling you, I mean, you couldn't get two different predictions, and I'll be right again because they were wrong in 2016. I was right. A 538, 85.6%, and I'll be right. If I could tell you a percentage at this moment, I would say 99%. 99.5% Republicans keep the House. That's what I would say. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Lamson, thank you so much. I will be back very soon. Check the upload in a couple of minutes because there will be an upload. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much to my super chat. Thank you so much. God bless everyone. I will see you soon. Lots to talk about today. Thank you.